For decades, Audi's biggest SUV was the Q7. Not anymore. Audi just rolled out something they have never built before. Their first true full-size SUV. Bigger than the Q7, bigger than the Q8, bigger than anything with 4 rings on the grille ever. They're calling it the Q9. And before we get into horsepower, pricing, and every single feature Audi crammed into this thing, I want to start with the detail that actually stopped me mid-scroll. It's not the engine. It's not even the size. It's the doors. Stick around, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly what this SUV is really about and whether it's actually worth 6 figures. Audi has never done this before on any production car. The Q9 has automatic doors. Walk up and they open on their own. Step out and they close themselves with a soft electric latch. Sensors watch the space around the car, so if something's in the way, a wall, a pole, another car, the door simply stops before it hits anything. You can even open and close them remotely through the My Audi app. It sounds like a small comfort feature, but it tells you exactly what Audi built this car for. Not weekend trips, business class travel every single day. And that theme continues the second you look at the outside. The front end is dominated by a massive upright grille that blends straight into the headlights, one solid black mask, giving the Q9 a serious, commanding face. At night, things get even more dramatic. Step toward the car and a rhombus-shaped carpet of light unrolls onto the ground beside the doors, welcoming you before you've even touched the handle. 2 trims are available at launch. Advanced, with vertical slats across the grille for a more prestigious look, and S-Line, which drops the slats for an open, sportier front end with a bigger rear spoiler. Wheels go all the way up to 23 inches, the largest ever offered on an Audi. Cool exterior. But the real surprise, once again, is what happens when those automatic doors open and you actually climb inside. At over 5.3 meters long and riding on a 3.14 meter wheelbase, the Q9 is the largest Audi ever made, and it shows the moment you sit down. 7 seats come standard, but Audi also offers a 6-seat layout with individual electrically adjustable captain's chairs in the second row. Every seat in the car is power adjustable, and all 3 positions in row 2 have child seat mounts. Need to get into the third row? The outer second row seat slides forward and tilts on its own. No folding required, so a child seat can stay bolted in the whole time. Up front, the sport seats are standard, and the top-tier Sport Seats Plus add heating, ventilation, and even massage functions. Then there's the roof. The Q9 gets the largest panoramic sunroof Audi has ever fitted, over 1.5 square meters of glass. Go for the top package and it adds switchable transparency with 9 individually controlled zones, plus color-changing illumination that syncs to your ambient lighting, all lit up by 84 LEDs. Sound matters just as much here. The Bang & Olufsen system pushes out 1,360 watts through 22 speakers, including headrest speakers for private phone calls and navigation. There's even a feature called 4D sound, where seat actuators physically vibrate in sync with the music, so you feel the bass instead of just hearing it. Materials get just as much attention. Alpaca wool, Dynamica microfiber, and fine Napa leather are all on the options list, alongside new interior colors like tamarind brown and stone beige. Storage is just as thoughtful. Fast wireless charging pads for 2 phones at once, USB-C charging in all 3 rows, and a trunk with a proper aluminum rail system, so cargo can actually be tied down instead of sliding around every time you brake. All of that is genuinely impressive. But the real headline of this launch is what's happening under the hood. At launch, the Q9 runs on a 3-liter turbocharged V6 diesel, and Audi has given it 2 power levels. The top version makes 220 kilowatts, which is about 299 horsepower, and 630 newton-meters of torque. A lower output version at 180 kilowatts, roughly 245 horsepower, will be offered in select European markets. Both versions use something Audi calls MHEV+. It pairs a belt-driven starter generator with a lithium iron phosphate battery, adding up to 18 kilowatts, or about 24 horsepower, of extra assistance when you're pulling away from a stop or overtaking on the highway. Here's the clever part. The top engine also gets an electric-powered compressor. In just 1.2 seconds, it can spool up to a peak boost pressure of 3.6 bar, filling in the power gap before the turbo fully kicks in. That means stronger low-end torque, quicker response off the line, and better fuel economy at the same time. Every Q9 comes with an 8-speed automatic transmission and Audi's permanent Quattro all-wheel drive as standard. No front-wheel drive version, no stripped-down base model. Every single Q9 sends power to all 4 wheels all the time. Underneath, adaptive air suspension is also standard, adjusting ride height by up to 90 millimeters depending on speed and conditions. Add the optional sport suspension and all-wheel steering, which turns the rear wheels up to 5 degrees, and this 5-meter-plus SUV can maneuver tighter than cars half its size. Powerful, efficient, and it never leaves you guessing about grip. But arguably the most futuristic part of this car isn't the engine at all. It's what happens above your head and around your body while you're driving. Audi just did something no other production car has ever done. The Q9's rear lights are curved. Using ultra-thin glass, just 0.1 millimeters thick, the outer OLED panel actually bends around the shape of the body. That's a world first. It means the light is visible from a much wider angle at the side of the car, not just from directly behind it. In total, there are 512 individual light segments spread across 6 OLED panels back there. And for the first time, they don't just flash on and off. They can play partial patterns, creating a genuinely unique signature at night. There's also something called advanced turn signals. When you indicate at night, the car projects a glowing arrow onto the road surface itself, in sync with the blinkers, so pedestrians and cyclists see your intention before you even move. If the Q9 ever breaks down or gets into an accident, a feature called communication light displays a warning triangle directly in the rear OLED panel, alerting traffic behind you automatically. On the safety side, Audi's Adaptive Driving Assistant Plus allows genuine hands-free driving on approved highways in Germany, the US, and Canada at speeds up to 85 miles an hour. A camera on the steering column watches your eyes and head position to make sure you're paying attention. And if you ever stop responding altogether, Emergency Assist takes over completely. It can steer itself onto the shoulder, bring the car to a full stop, trigger the hazard lights, and automatically call for help. Impressive tech across the board. Now, the part that decides whether any of this actually reaches your driveway? The Q9 opens for order at the end of July 2026, with deliveries beginning in the 4th quarter. Pricing starts at €108,400 for the top TDI 220 kilowatt version. That places the Q9 firmly above the Q7 and Q8, right at the top of Audi's entire lineup. It's built in Bratislava, Slovakia, the same plant responsible for some of Audi's largest and most premium models. So, is the Q9 worth it? If you need real, adult-usable third-row space, a genuinely quiet cabin, and a car that treats every passenger like they're in business class, this is easily the most complete SUV Audi has ever built. What do you think? If I had to bet, most buyers are going to gravitate toward the 6-seat layout, with the individual second-row captain's chairs. It's the version that actually justifies the size of this thing. The bigger question is what comes next. Audi hasn't confirmed a plug-in hybrid or fully electric version of the Q9 yet, but given how the rest of the lineup is moving, it feels less like an if and more like a when. So, would you actually put a Q9 in your driveway? Or does the size make more sense for a full-size SUV from someone else? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. If this saved you from digging through Audi's full press release yourself, hit subscribe. There's a lot more of these coming. See you in the next one.